Seems like this is starting. Okay, it looks like we are live, and I'm going to just get started doing this. I'm also going to record on QuickTime so that I just have extra safety in doing this recording. Okay, so I'm here to answer this question. Getting started for semi-beginners. Basically, this guy is familiar with Netlify, but not with Netlify Dev. He's created several StencilJS projects and deployed them to Netlify, but then wants to add functions and deploy using the CLI, and just wants to know what the right way to do things. I don't know Stencil at all, so I figured this would be a nice live stream to figure things out, but then also it's close enough to React that it seems like I could figure things out pretty easily. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just follow these instructions. I have a folder open, and this is just a complete blank slate. I'm going to just pick their basic template, whatever that one is. I have a PWA, web components. I'm thinking of that one. I'll just call this an app. Oh, could have warned me that something was provided. So, whatever, yeah. And so Netlify Dev, the key things you're going to want to know about is also kind of based here. My computer is slow to crawl right now. This is the key repo where I maintain the docs. And assuming my computer doesn't choke for starting all this, I may need to. Alright. Okay, so to my knowledge, we don't have any detectors for the Stencil project. So here, you can watch the video if you want. A lot of people don't. Make sure you have the Netlify CLI installed. Make sure that you're logged in, and then link to Netlify. So that last one is actually not strictly required, but it's highly encouraged. So we're going to do all that. So as far as I know, I'm already logged in. So if I run Netlify status, we'll have information about me, but there's nothing about the site because we haven't linked the site yet. We also don't have a Git repository, so we're going to do that as well. So now we have a Git repository. If I just throw all this in, I think we're fine. Where's my GitHub? I'm just trying to skip some. I'm just trying to create a GitHub repo. I used a command earlier, but now I can't find it. It's like a hub create. hub.github.com. There we go. My new thing. Okay. So it begins. Alright, that repo's not gonna stick around because it's a terrible name, but we're gonna go with it. So hopefully now the remote has been updated, and we can run Netlify in it. And this will link the site up this will create a new site. And if it already exists based on this GitHub repo, we'll link it up. So site name, we'll just call it StencilJS demo Netlify something random. And that should end it pretty well. I don't actually know what the build command should be. I'm just going to say yarn build. And the deploy directory, and that's something stencil specific. Output targets, I guess is triple W. Do I want triple W? Do I want dist? Alright, so we want triple W. So the build directory by default is build, so we're just going to specify build. And then we're just going to persist that in Netlify.toml, which will be helpful later on, as you can see. So that will kick off our initial build of Netlify, of our StencilJS project, the one that we just started from scratch. Now we're going to have a look at this locally, and we'll see what that looks like, what that project looks like. Alright, we need to push the master. Oh, is this open yet? I'm recording like on 2 different programs, so my machine is really choking on this, and I should probably not do that in the future, but whatever. I'm not showing the speed here, I'm just showing the steps that I would take to go through all this. Alright, so we have a couple of getting more stuff. We have a new .netlify folder. The .netlify folder basically just keeps track of which Netlify site instance this project is linked to. So any particular functionality that we pull down from that depends on that uses this field. Okay, so inside of this package JSON, we have build and start, and those are the main things we want to take care of. And what Netlify Dev does is it builds a proxy server around your project, right? I don't think. Let me double check because this is going to matter. I don't think we have one for Stencil, and that's something I can probably fix, but then also explain because there's no detector for Stencil. We'll have to manually configure Netlify Dev to go along with this. I'm going to run yarn start, and we'll just see this raw as is, what Stencil is out of the box. Hopefully that works out of the box, because this is apparently pre-release build. And it doesn't give me a... Okay. Alright, so it says localhost 3333 dev server init. It's initializing first build. Wow, okay. Building. I suppose there's a cache somewhere. In the meantime, I'm just checking on the thing that I just pushed recently. Hopefully that's building as well. That is not building. Why is it not building? Let's see. Build. Why is it not building properly? Yarn command not found. Okay, so this requires npm, and over here I've told it to use yarn. So that's probably a bad idea, and I should probably use npm instead. It's the little things. My computer is really chugging right now. Alright, so that's the Stencil starter app. This looks fine. Alright, fantastic. Fabulous. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this this little route and configure Netlify Dev so that we're listening on this exact same route. So what's going on here is that we are we're going to be writing the overrides that we're going to need. there's a broader explanation down in the links below, as well as what the port actually means here. But basically, we're going to be listening in on this and proxying that, and that's helpful for functions and add-ons and so on and so forth. If you want the relevant image, just make sure to read this blog post. I also wrote this, and this chart basically shows. So Svelte is the project that we're working on. The port that we're listening to is locals 3333, and then we're going to be adding extra functionality on top of this. And this is the blog post to check out if you want more detail on that, and if my internet wasn't super slow right now. But yeah, but just wanted to show you that blog post. Okay, so now we're going to set up Netlify Dev for our Svelte project. And what that will entail is setting up the commands, port, and we don't actually need the publish, but we're just going to use the publish. Anyway. Okay, so what that means, we have it right here. We don't even need to look it up. It's already been scaffolded for us. And instead of yarn, we're going to use npm going start. The port is 3333, and the publish folder is build. I think that's the publish folder, but there's also a www folder, which may be key there. I don't think we need this. Let me just see, where do static assets go? Static assets. Here's no search. Come on. Config. Stencil static assets. Stencil static assets. Well, the computer's really dying. Okay, there's a Stencil Config, which I should probably look at. So it begins. So this recording and streaming thing, it is taking a while. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but we're showing some progressive web apps up in here. Okay. Static. Yeah, I think I was just on this page, so no. This site is very slow. Okay. You know what? I'm going to forego my due diligence and just say that we'll configure this to some random folder, but it really should be the static assets folder. So whatever the static assets folder is, that's the one it should be. I'm just going to ignore it for now. Okay, so now we're going to kill the process and run Netlify Dev with these with this build block configured. I have this alias to ND because I don't want to type, but you can also type NTL dev, and that will work as well. Okay, very slow because I'm running. I'm running a bunch of recording as well as the local. I need a functions folder. Let's have the functions folder. Yeah, it can be a hard one to appreciate. So we spun up a Lambda folder for functions, but we don't actually have any functions yet. That port is 34567 by default. We are working on making that configurable. And we're also starting the build command, um, which I assume is also the dev command as well. So this is exactly what we're running. We just ran npm run start. So Netlify Dev is now serving as a wrapper around the Stencil project. And we should see it. Oh, it does this really annoying auto open thing. Okay, that's new. So we should want to disable that. I'm gonna go Google off screen. But in the meantime, this is the Netlify Dev server, and so we try to denote things with the little gem icon here. Maybe a little bit too subtle. I don't know, but that's what we have right now. No, I'm just gonna Google for Svelte, disable auto open. We'll see what comes up. StencilJS disable auto open. How do I do that? Google's not helping at all. Not surprisingly, I'm on Bing because they want to Google all my search traffic. Unfortunately, Google is still the best, search-wise. Yeah, there we go. Auto open to browser. Jesus. Okay. Well, it looks like it doesn't. They don't really have it, but whatever. All right. So now we're gonna add some functions, and then we're gonna refer to those functions. We're gonna call those functions. So again, I'm gonna kill my process. We probably don't need to, but that's just for safety. So this is Netlify functions create for scaffolding functions. I have this alias to NFC. So that's how I roll. And we're just going to do a simple hello world. And that creates a folder inside of my functions. And all this does is it shows you the format for a simple hello world query. So running Netlify Dev again, this time we have a functions in our functions folder. So now we're not only running the Stencil project, we're also running the functions server alongside and parsing it all together, just like in that diagram I showed you. This startup time is very slow, and that's mainly because it's on my machine. I'm recording as well as running the raw, unoptimized build, source code of Netlify CLI, which most users won't have. But that's why it's slow. Not for any other reason. I feel like I need to do this demo without recording so that the CLI doesn't appear as slow as it is right now. My screen is recording, so I should not be looking at internal stuff, but you saw a little glimpse of our Slack there. Again, this thing is opening up, and I don't want it to. I really need a way to disable that. Okay, so this should be it. And now, so we're redirecting from. Whoa. Okay. Jeez, this is so slow. I don't think this is acceptable. But modify functions. Oh. Okay. So that's our hello world, and you can see in the logs how we're requesting that. So we need some dynamic capability, and so one thing I'm going to do is, well, I'm not really sure like what functionality people might want, but I'm just going to try to go with giving a secret object that's being held in here. So, for example, I can say something like data, and then have an array of objects. Name, food, define that object. Okay. So now we're reloading, and if I reload, I should get some sort of JSON reply. Okay, yeah, got the JSON reply. So now what we want to do is just ping it from this felt front end, and we'll be done. God, my computer's really choking right now. Okay, so this is the svelte part of the program, and I am not super confident in this, but I think I gave the README a little bit of a look through, so I think I can kind of swing something up in here. Okay, so now let's write a event handler, or we're gonna use the lifecycle method. So we have to check the notes again. Component. I swear I saw some event handling. Did I not have it on click? I'm not really sure about this. I don't think this is a useful way to do things. Internal state. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to click a button. We'll fetch the data and then put it into state. Hopefully that's good enough for people. We'll need to import state from Stencil core. And because it's TypeScript, we have to define what a to-do is. I think it's just going to be a very simple string. Maybe number. Okay, so I think that will be good enough. And then the last thing that we want to have is a button. Cookie. Okay, so then we have an event handler. Using events in JSX. This is exactly what I want. it's not exactly what I want. I just want to have an event handler. Okay, I read this somewhere else in the docs and I can't find it right now. So I'm just gonna wing it and we'll see what happens. Handle click. So we're gonna fetch. I'm gonna say .netlify. We're going to JSON it. And then we're gonna say data. This completed. Wow, it's so slow. Oh my god. I cannot stream like this. We have to type the data. It's going to be a bunch of TDs. Hopefully that will work things out. I think I have to put a guard behind this as well. Okay. So I have a fetch here, and it just handles clicks. So let's just see the data show up, and hopefully that will be a good start. JSON.string define state is confuse. Okay, I'm not working. This is not like my desk right now. But hopefully that shows up somewhere. So what we've done is we modeled the ping from some functions, and now we have and spell share been keeping up on the front end side of things. So now when we run quickly, we'll ping that function, and hopefully things will render somewhere, or there'll be an error. What's really bad is if there's no error right now. And that could be because of a this binding issue, which, oh, no, we're fetching hello world, alright? We're just not rendering it. So this is to do with my knowledge is felt. And then this is the reactive data issue. I'm binding this. I think I need it. Hopefully that is the issue. We can restart the tracking by the Chrome browser tools so that I have a clear sense of where my app is coming in and making the request. I think the re-rendering should be happening, especially if this is successful. And yeah, it is. So I just got data showing up from my serverless function on my front end inside of local dev. And so now the only thing left is to deploy it. And so I'm going to kill the Netlify Dev. And that's essentially Netlify Dev. There's a bunch of more advanced features, but this will get you started as well. And so now we're going to deploy. The easiest thing to deploy is just going to add functions and check for stuff into Git. And because of the Git hook, it's going to start building. And we'll have as much as that. While this thing is building, so you can also run Netlify open, and that will bring you to your console, your terminal, just showing you the different commands that you might want to use. You might want to normally use if it is any faster. Right now it's pretty freaking slow. I'm not a fan of that. This was supposed to take like 5 minutes, by the way. I'm sure it's taken like half an hour. I think a lot of it's due to the recording. So what I'm going to do after this is to do a non-stream version so that people don't have to wait forever. Site failed. Why you fail? Is it because of the npm running? But who says you have a directory that does not exist? Run thing. Jesus. So what folder does it go to? Does it go to the stencil folder? No. Does it go to the triple W? Yes, it does. So it's triple W / build. That's the folder that we need. That will kick things off on GitHub. And this is the one that should work. I'm so ready for this to be done. It's 2 a.m. for me, and it's been a long day. Plus, this live streaming thing is the first time I'm trying OBS software. Not my best, not gonna be my best showing for sure. But at the end of the day, if this debugging helps someone, then probably worth it. We have a live site right now. You probably don't want this preview thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that out of there. This was on you. I have an index HTML, so I don't need a triple W. So I really should be publishing triple W. God damn it. This is really annoying. So you're telling me the assets over here refer to build, right? Which will refer, yeah, they do refer to build. Use www. And we're back to waiting for the build to happen again. And we'll probably build a spell detector if I have time and energy, which I don't super have right now. Okay, let's just go. We should at least show something. And that should be in the functions. And that's the point live. Okay. So some nuances here. If you set up a functions that has node modules inside one of these folders, you're gonna have to set up your build script to CD into those functions and install dependencies. If you have a single page app, you may need the single page app redirects. Let me show you over here. So for example, if I have a single page app on the client side showing me these routes, if I refresh, that might give me a 404 if I don't have the corresponding HTML files over here. So I don't have the corresponding HTML files. And that's when you use the redirects to redirect all routes to the root HTML folder. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm going to try and re-record this because I don't think it went super well. But this is what's in all. Cheers.